Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Fergs Disc Sports. Check out bergsdiscsports.com for the highest quality disc golf bags and gear that have all been fully tested and approved by our disc golf community. The only thing better than Fergs bags is Fergs customer service. For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal. And if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff.
And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. My name is Paddy Robinson, and next to me today I've got Timmy Bowen and Andrew Ferguson. How has the week been, fellas?
Hey, Paddy. Week's been cold, mate, but very enjoyable. Happy to be here for another episode.
Hey, fellas. How we going?
Good. We got a big, fun episode. So, let's get straight into it. A little bit of a players meeting straight up. Last episode, I shared a little thing that I've submitted to Hamish and Andy. And
they got back to you, did they, Paddy?
Crickets.
Absolute crickets.
Absolute crickets. But, we'll let you guys know if anything does eventuate there. We still have pins available. If anyone is interested, jump on the Instagram link tree and you'll see the form there. There's also the link to the Patreon. We've had a new member last episode. If anyone is keen, it's just as little as a coffee, $5 a month, just to support us and what we do, and hopefully we can get out and do a couple of extra little things for you guys as well. Last week, pretty fun week, and bit of an announcement with it. We started doing some commentary for Gatekeeper.
That's awesome stuff, hey. We finally got our hands on the coveted Sizzler coverage. So we're adding our voices to that, and that'll be out hopefully pretty soon on Gatekeeper.
I can't believe they've trusted us to represent their brand. Is this the end of Gatekeeper?
It's just the beginning.
No.
It is the beginning.
Do they realise how bloody Aussie I sound?
I really hope that comes across. Like, we should have thrown a few more colloquialisms in there maybe, but...
we've got more to come.
We've got more to come.
If they wanted a true Aussie bogan, they've found one. So well done.
There's definitely going to be subtitles on that video.
No, look out for that coverage. I'm sure we'll have more to come with that. So disc golf reflection, or the tip of the week. I'm going to keep it light. I know the last few have been a bit heavy with all the mental game talk, but
thinking, mate, there was like going to school last week. Honestly.
Well, we don't want that here. We want a bit of fun. So I've actually got like a bit of a practice game that I sort of develop myself. And it's a bit of fun when you're down on the course, so I thought I'd just share that with you guys. It does have a shit name, Triplets, so if you guys think of any other better names for it, go for it. Let me hear them. But essentially what I do if I'm playing this game, I go down, say I'm at Barn Valley, I play each hole 3 times. So the first drive that I throw essentially is my tournament play, how I would play that hole. And then when I eventually go up, I play that first drive, and if I, say, make a birdie on that hole, then that's what I'll put on the card. But if I stuff up that first drive, I then throw 2 more drives, and essentially I play each one out, but the aim is to try and get the best score I can with both of those drives, so my second drive and my third drive. So for me to card a birdie for that hole, for hole 1, I have to birdie with my second play and my third as well. So if that kind of makes sense, essentially if I stuff up my first drive, I've got 2 chances to make it back. And what I found is this actually puts a little bit of that extra pressure on the drive. I am throwing some different discs as well, so I really have to concentrate. And when I'm down there putting, it does put a little bit more pressure on those second and third putts to try and, card that birdie.
I'll tell you what, now I understand why you've got so many course records on UDisc.
Yeah, I've got to say, massive question marks over all the UDisc rounds. Huge question marks.
They're all legit, mate. They're all legit. But yeah, it's a fun little game. Good to really get a little bit of that tournament sort of pressure on your practice rounds as well. So yeah, give it a go, guys.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like it. I think it'd be good, actually.
News round the world, round Australia. What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Now we're on to the tournament recap. We're going to start with a Pro Tour event, the Beaver State Fling on the Milo McIver course. This one, you couldn't have tipped it, but it was Eagle McMahon that had the win in front of Andrew Presnell and Calvin Heimberg. Eagle, he actually missed cash last week. So no cash, no tip, no one tipped him, and he had a win.
Yeah, right.
This was just why disc golf,
It's huge.
particularly the MPO field, is so good at the moment because it's anyone's game. It's actually Eagle's third Beaver State Fling win after winning it in 2018 and 2019, so shouldn't have come as a surprise to us. He really slaughtered that course. On the FPO side of things, and if you didn't see this, do yourselves a favour, go back and watch the final round FPO coverage on Central Coast. That was probably the best FPO viewing that I've certainly watched this year. Jennifer Allen had a win and Holland Hanley came in second. Those two were in a bit of a league of their own. I think it was about a 10 or 11 shot swing gap between second and third place. And it was very close. Jen Allen ended up winning by 2 shots and it could have gone either way on the very last hole.
I got to say, Jen Allen's been here. She's one of the most beautiful personalities getting around. She's an epic player, but she played out of her mind
Crazy
during that tournament. Oh my God! How's the first hole?
Literally first hole, 345 foot par 3, and she just cans it.
Yeah,
Absolutely smashed
ace.
it.
It was such a sick ace. No easy feat, and she was just on, man. I reckon I would love to actually ask her what was going through the mind, because I reckon it would have been absolutely nothing, just in the zone, tunnel vision, I'm just here, I don't know it, I'm just in this magic place and it's all working.
Yeah, she was absolutely feeling it. And funnily enough, if you have to dig into the stats there, she didn't make a single C2 putt for the entire tournament. When's the last time you saw someone win a big event like the Beaver State Fling without hitting a C2 putt for the entire event? It just shows how good her tee to green game was. I think she aced that first hole and went on to birdie the next few holes, and it was looking like she was going to run away with it. But Holland herself was actually really dialed in, and there were highlights galore. Do yourselves a favour, go back and watch that last round. Holland hit the band on hole 8 for eagle, which would have been huge and really would have stirred things up if she had drained that one. And she looks like one to watch for the next few events, I reckon.
I think it was hole 16 or hole 17. She ended up the one where I think it's the par 5, and it's got that little island on the green. And unfortunately, on her second shot, she goes OB, or maybe on the third, cans the putt to save for par.
Huge putt too.
Yeah, huge putt. Maybe edge of circle 2, something like that. Just bang.
So good.
Yeah,
Just to put it in perspective, of Jen's rounds, we've got an 880, a 987, a 1016, and a 1001. And the 10 the 1001 was matched by Holland in that final round. So playing, good 50, 60 above their own rating. So it's huge.
Yeah, and she didn't putt. She didn't putt poorly. She putted at 73% C1, 0 from C2. But 1,000 rated rounds with that sort of putting gives me some hope. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I got to admit, I love this swing of the tour as well.
Yeah.
Once they hit that west coast and just that, the northwest coast, the Portland area is just epic. I've played Milo McIver. It's the best disc golf course in the world, honestly.
How'd you go on the 194 metre par 4 with the low ceiling, Paddy? Because I've got that on my notables here. Eagles roller.
Is that the downhill one? No,
it's not downhill at all.
No?
It's a legit 194 metres. And it takes a pretty specific shape of shot, and Eagle's tackling it with a roller, and he's getting a look for Eagle.
He rolled past it, hadn't he?
No, he kind of got like wide left, but he kind of just like he missed the putt. But my God, his roller game is so good. Him and Simon, I don't know what they were doing at Dismania, just practicing rollers all day, but they had it dialed.
Yeah, no, epic to watch. Great, and the coverage looked really, really good. I know they've struggled. There's not much reception there in the past, but the coverage was incredible.
It's clean.
Yeah,
It's awesome. Now, I've got a couple of other shout-outs. Fergie's boy, Carter Ahrens, 15-year-old. I call him Fergie's boy because he cost Fergie some cash in the tips this week.
Goodness gracious.
He got the course record. So this guy's 15. He's built like a linebacker, and he's one to watch because the 12 down course record at the age of 15 is just craziness.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was one to watch as well, and then he comes out the next week and just eats.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean,
I
he's
think he
15,
came
that's gonna
fifth,
happen.
didn't he?
Yeah.
In the end?
I can't remember his exact placing, but
Sixth?
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very good performance. He was absolutely motoring. I think he was actually 12 down through 14 holes at one point,
Yep.
so just crazy.
Oh, it must be that Trilogy plastic he's throwing and sponsored by, I reckon.
I doubt it. Now, the other notable is Ricky Wysocki actually had a bit of a dip in the ice cold river after the round because he had during the tournament bet with Chandler Fry that Chandler would miss a 70-foot putt. And
Yeah, right.
Chandler went on to can it. And if you have a look at their socials, have a look at Chandler Fry's Instagram there, and you'll see Ricky making good on that bet and jumping in the river afterwards.
Oh, that's just his warm down
I know,
routine,
I
isn't
know.
it? Anyway.
Yeah, a bit of a lame bet.
Or if you
mistake
hit
there.
this, I'll have to drink a cold beer. Oh,
I thought he was
damn.
getting ticks off his back. But no, it's not.
Oh, I thought it was funny though, and well done by Chandler for canning that. Just goes to show everyone plays better when there's sledging involved. 100%.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, the Cascade Challenge. And I had to Google this one when it was coming about because I'd never heard of it before. It's actually the first Silver Series event in Washington, in the state of Washington. So on a course that hasn't really seen a big event, but it was a pretty cool course. It was very wooded.
Yeah,
technical.
it definitely deserved to be on as, a Silver Series. The course looked fun as.
Oh, it looked really fun. And did you see the trophies? They were two
Yes.
whopping
Yes.
great big axes.
Yeah.
And your MPO winner, here's Ricky. I had to roll with the Shining reference because that axe, my lord, straight out of The Shining. Ricky Wysocki got it done.
Yeah.
Is he back?
Oh,
He's back,
how
mate.
can you say he's not?
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
So good. Like being in those really tight technical courses is basically just scramble disc golf, and
Yeah.
Ricky's undoubtedly the best in the world at scramble game.
Yeah. It was, and James Conrad as well. We know he plays well in the woods. He came out firing those first two rounds and just dropped off a little bit in that third. But, just even watching some of the highlights, I was at work on Monday when it was coming through, but so I had to watch the highlights on that one. But yeah, Ricky and his felon? His orbit felon, he's just parking everything, man. Just
So good.
nuts. I don't know how that felon flies so straight for him too, because that's bullshit. He throws so
overstable
hard.
it is. The other guy that plays wooded courses really well, did very well himself, Matt Bell. Absolutely slayed the course. It was awesome watching that last round because he just, you couldn't write him off whether he was 50, 60, 70, 80 feet away from the basket. He'd just can it.
He canned something massive in that final round. Even
Yeah.
he just walked away going, I don't know. What's going on?
I'm just on. I think there were 3 holes in a row where he hit high left, high right, hit the band, and so he was just dialed from anywhere. It was awesome to see. On the FPO side of things, Kat Mersch picked up another win in front of Sai Ananda. So those two are becoming pretty frequent names on our podium and shout-out list each week.
Yeah.
Very, very good battle.
Huge.
No KT and no Page at this one, but it doesn't take anything away from the win. Big win by Kat Mersch. Now, the other tournament I want to shout out in the States is and I'm going to try and read all of these words, a bloody long title again, 2023 PDGA Tim Selinsky US Masters Disc Golf Championships presented by Innova. Just a quick shout out because Philo Brathwaite actually won in a playoff versus Kale LaVisca and picked up his first ever major win, so well done to Philo.
There's time for us. There's time for
There's
us all.
time.
What's Follow now? He's 50, isn't he?
Oh, I have no idea.
He's pushing 50.
You reckon?
Bless him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Easily.
What a good win.
Easily. He's been around for a while.
His commentary game's on point. Much love him in the booth.
Absolutely love listening to Follow.
Yeah. Had to give him a shout out. First ever
I
major.
I did see the Frolf Jerry meme about it. It was like, oh, I won my first major. And yeah, the George like, in MP40.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't take anything away. That's huge. I was expecting the old cat merch tears and screaming from Philo, but no, he played it pretty cool in that post round.
Yeah, he
Just
certainly
lit
did.
up a massive blunt as it. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Now, next up, we've got a
Stoked for it.
huge one, the Portland Open. Now, we know this course is a big one. Got any tips for us, boys?
Hey, I saw something on the socials the other day. Is KT back? Is she coming back?
Oh, no idea.
I thought so. I saw something about her saying, I'm going back to work.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I haven't seen the list, but I did see that as well. I think she's coming back for another few tournaments. But if she surely she won't be here for long because the European leagues are just about to start. So
True.
yeah. But Portland, like I totally understand she's coming back for Portland Open. That's a massive event.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely one she'll want to win. Tips wise, if KT is there, then definitely taking her.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the boys, I think Eagle, he played well at this before. It's got to boost the old confidence playing Beaver. So yeah, I'll throw him down.
Yeah, just looking at it, yeah, she's registered.
She's on the list.
Yeah,
Awesome. Well, she's got to be a lock for first. What about the boys, though? You got a tip there, Fergs? I kind of like, and look, I know he's played well at one in the past. It might have been the last one or the one just prior, but I got a sneaky feeling Gibbo's about to jump out and have a big one. Yeah, a bit of a smoky, but we'll go with Gibbo.
Cool. Right. If he comes top 10, I'll jump in a river for you.
Oh, here you go.
He's been a little quiet lately, but I'm going to go with Gannon Burr.
Okay.
I think he's due for another win.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be cool to see Gannon versus Eagle.
Yeah.
100%.
That would be cool.
Now, I've spent way too long on the US comps. Let's move back to our shores and look at the Australian tournaments. And we actually had 7 comps in the last fortnight.
Oh, damn.
So bear with me as I run through these. The biggest one we had was the Discs South Australian Open at Adelaide Parklands. That was taken out by none other than Luke Bain. And there's really no need to mention any other places.
I think we can definitely talk about it.
It was just Luke Bain. He had a good win in MPO. I can't remember who else played, but yeah, he had a win.
Yeah, so Tim was sitting in second in that third round. Was it Tim?
I can't
think
remember.
I was
It was all
behind
right.
by 3 strokes. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't come second by the end of it.
Yeah, look, hats off,
Shots
Paddy.
fired.
I didn't even come third, mate. I actually came fourth. Yeah, I want to just give a massive clip to the SA Adelaide Parklands crew because they need to clean up their course a little bit. There's bloody ducks everywhere, Paddy. Start of the tournament, 4 minutes before tee off, just like practicing the hole I'm about to start on, and yep, full pelt, flex forehand with my Taipan straight into a duck, mate. My heart sank. And do you know what I called out?
Did you lose a disc?
No.
Oh, it tasted great that night. It's great on the Barbie.
Do you know what I called out when I threw and I thought it was tracking? Duck!
Oh, really?
He didn't duck.
Quacking shot, was it?
Mate, I felt so bloody awful. Luckily, he got up and waddled away. He didn't hang out with the other ducks after that because I think he thought another duck hit him. But he went off to the creek. I'm pretty sure he may be not long for this world.
Well,
mate.
yeah.
Poor duck.
Shout out to Alan Brunsting, who found a deceased duck somewhere on the course, took a photo, sent it to Tim. It's like, are you responsible for this, mate?
Oh, no, my heart sank. I'm like, that's the duck. But no, they all look
What's
the
wrong with
same.
this park? Why are there so many dead ducks and stuff just lying around? Isn't this? It's right around the CBD, isn't it?
Mate, there were so many ducks. I've got to give a shout out to I believe it came from Darren Stay Smith. As soon as I hit that duck, he's straight onto Insta and just tags me in a duck hunter meme. So, very well played. But look, needless to be said, I hope the duck's okay. I got my bad karma because that first hole I had a roll away on a 12-metre birdie putt. And then I had a spit out on the 8-metre comebacker. So I started with a bogey. Hopefully that was, paying my dues for the poor duck. And hopefully I don't hit another one because that felt bloody awful. Now, best placed female in that comp was Sarah Lee. She shot a +10 and props for stepping up and playing MPO. She bet our mate Ryan Budge. So shout out to Budgie.
Oh, on you, Budgie.
Yeah, budgie.
And
He was in. He was a bit sore.
He was a bit sore.
He had some neck thing going
I
on.
bet he was sore after that.
yeah, righto. And another shout out to a young gun, Anita Webber. had her first win in FA2. And I believe, exclusive, we're going to have a little chat to Anita later on this very podcast.
We will be.
Congrats, Anita.
SA Open was awesome fun, though, so well done to the South Australian club there.
Yeah, first time I've played the Parklands, and
Fun.
really cool place.
Yeah, doing some
Very
good things. Getting tee pads in like a couple of weeks, so
Yep.
pretty bad timing on that one, but very, very much needed tee pads. Now, next comp, Throw May away up in Townsville. The best amateur there were no MPO players. Best amateur was Matthew DeWitt. He was actually in MA2, but Ben Kirsch was the best placed in MA1. Best female was Tulira Blackburn in FA2, so well done to those guys. Then we move over across the country, pretty much the furthest trip in Australia you can do, from Townsville to Perth, the Mandalorian Return of the Jedi. I don't get the Star Wars references. What?
I do get Mandalorian, but Return of the Jedi, I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. There's been too many Star Wars movies, honestly. Got no clue.
I mean, make it a bit more fun, like the Course Awakens, Come on.
Okay, I don't mind that. Yeah. Blake Houston, hires a flight, got a win. He was one back on Alex Kinniston, and he got the win by one. So
Yeah.
I got a little bit of intel from our good mate Blake. He had a 30-metre throw-in for eagle on hole 15 when he needed it.
Woo.
So
Okay.
it'd be awesome.
30 metres, that's just a putt for that guy, isn't it?
A throw-in. He went forehand, I believe. So,
Yeah, right.
Yep, very,
Nice
very,
one.
very clutch. And those two, it's good to see them spurring themselves on. That's why they're so highly rated, having two good players going head-to-head like that.
Just like me and you, Tim.
That's it, Paddy. The battle of the bad backs.
The dad backs.
Yep.
Just a little shout out to Alex Canaston as well. I don't know if anyone follows him online, but do give him a follow. But Alex, one thing, mate, just maybe invest in a new phone for recording your disc golf shots, because the old 144 pixels is just not great. Don't know what he's actually using. Maybe a Nokia,
It could be a Nokia brick.
something like that. But Alex, love the content, but it's better if I can actually see what you're doing. So
Paddy's definitely the Instagram reel master, so make sure you take his advice there, Alex. Another shout out, MP40, Brendan Bennett got a win, and the best placed female was Leah Manning. She had an 863 rated first round, which is pretty close to 100 points above her rating. So well done to Leah.
nice.
Back across the country again, we had the Burnie Winter Classic in Tassie. Now, Ollie Mundy Castle was the lone soldier in MPO and got the win because young Atticus has a shoulder injury. He was 14 down. Big shout out to Ed Hesline winning MA1 and Owen winning MA40. Apparently, there's no ladies that exist in Burnie, and I can see why that's the case. It's bloody cold in Burnie.
Actually, I want to shout out as well. Matt Green got his first tournament ace.
Yeah, spot on. Well done, Matty.
Oh, yeah, Matty.
Huge
Very
stuff.
cool.
No, Burnie's a sort of up-and-coming club, so I'm sure they'll have some ladies playing their tourneys very, very soon. Then over in Melbourne, we had 3 tournaments because it was the Melbourne Disc Golf Day. So I think they've jumped on the Aussie Disc Golf Day bandwagon, and now they've got their own Melbourne Disc Golf Day, which is kind of fun. They had a concurrent events at Ruffy, Bald Hill, and Stony Creek.
Just getting it done.
So,
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, they've got plenty of members, and it was cool to see 3 nice events go ahead on that Sunday. Ruffy, Ryan Deere was in front of Leo Dykes. Those two very, very strong performances. I think it was like minus 21 and minus 17 or something like that. Ryan, in fact, had a 10-15 rated round at Ruffy. So
Sweet.
very well done.
What's that about? A 19 under for Ruffy? Or?
Something like that. Shout out to Ruben Berg. He had a good win in MP40 ahead of Matt Adams. And Georgia Carroll was the best placed female at +8.
Lovely.
Over to Bald Hill. I actually had a good win at Bald Hill. Don't know where you were, Paddy. Beautiful day up at Bald Hill.
Oh, look, mate, I was following the scores. I was getting mixed up. I didn't realise I was actually following MA1 because I think the winner there had 15 under 2. But, I didn't have to jump. Yeah.
Hey, he can play, Marcus Valotta. I played the first round with him. He's very much an MPO player. He was bloody good. I'm happy to get a win at Bald Hill. There's too many locals there that just shred the course. So, look,
Yeah, good win, mate.
I don't like playing in the rain, but I was pretty happy to see the rain because I need something to peg those locals back a little bit.
I'm sure they loved having you win it too. Yeah,
it.
coming up from Geelong. And,
That's it.
It did look a bit wet too, Timmy.
Oh, mate, it was so wet. So bloody wet. But it was a good day in the end. Well done to TD, Janet Ford Adams. She was the best placed female with a 7.32 average.
Nice,
On you,
Janet.
Janet. Good work.
Now, I couldn't help but notice from a little podcast called The Throwlers, I got given 0 chance to win this one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we might play the clip. How about that?
Yeah,
I want to
sounds
hear
good.
this. I want to hear this. What's going on?
Bald Hill's definitely where the killers are at, though. You got Darren, Timmy B, Dave Perry, Ryan Hart, and Aiden Howard. That's hot. Someone's going to be pretty sad to miss out on that lead card.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Tim B.
Ice cold. So I got one word for you, Alan and Chris Ronalds. Suck it up, mate.
The audio was a bit off then. All I could hear was a food court or something going on.
Yeah, and nice to see Chris actually maybe got a bit scared.
Yeah,
Didn't
where were
play
you, Chris?
ball.
What happened?
Bald Hill?
Mate, I don't know what's going on. Like, I went to Bald Hill specifically because that's where all the MPO players were. And Chris Ronalds just goes, no, I'll just go over to Stony Creek, play by myself, and get an easy win. No, I'm not giving him any credit. He actually shot 19 down, averaged 993 at Stony. Now, I've got to ask the question.
Is that over two? What is that? 2 rounds or 1 round?
That's 2 rounds.
That's two
That
rounds.
that was with a triple bogey on hole 2. So that's pretty good.
Jeez.
Can I ask,
The infamous hole 2.
is Stony Creek harder than Bald Hill?
No,
Is that a
Not
question?
right.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a question.
Nah.
Because I'm looking at the ratings. He was 19 down, 993. I think my 15 down at Bald Hill was like 950 something, 960 something.
Well, did they play? What kind of tee pads did they play? They play the normal course, or they play
just
like
the normal course. Just an
bastardised version of it?
absolute birdie fest.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, look,
Well done, Chris.
got a shout out to Chris Ronalds. 19 down at Bald Hill, at Stony, sorry, was a massive win. Best placed female was Huss. Claire Hussey shot a +1.
Nice, Huss.
Couldn't help but notice, Huss, that you took a double bogey on the very last hole of the day, which cost you that under par score. So she wouldn't be happy with that.
No, that's not how you want to finish around. Also, shout out to Chris Ronalds, brand new father. Well done, Chris.
Yay.
Well done, Chris. That was a whole lot of comps. The recap's gone for way too long. Next up, we have the Sterling Classic in Perth. That's the only event in the next week. So good luck at that one to those competing.
Looking for help with course design and installations, a new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disco and to catch up on the latest disco trends.
And on the phone, we have Anita Webber. Anita, thank you for coming and joining us on the tee off. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, it's Paddy here, but you've also got Tim and Fergie as well in the booth. So they say good day, boys.
Hello, Anita. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, Anita, Tim here. Sorry for photobombing your family photo on the plane the other day. I felt bad about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Photoshop is a wonderful thing, Anita. You can scrub that out. Yes. Now, Anita, we've asked you to come on to the tee off here because you had an incredible win last week or the week before at the South Australian Open. You won the FA2 division, yeah?
Yeah.
Congratulations. We did a bit of a recap before and we've given you a shout out, but we want to hear all about it. So you've stepped up into FA2 this year from juniors last year?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And who were you competing against in the weekend, the South Australian Open?
I was competing against Lauren and Kate, and I forgot some of their names, sorry, but
I think
they're
the
all
last
really nice.
last one was Bonnie, but
Bonnie, yeah.
Huge win, FA2. Stepping up from FJ15 must be a huge jump for you. But I know you've got lofty ambitions in disc golf, Anita. I think there may be an overseas trip on the horizon. Is that bad intel that I've got there? Or is that something that you're aspiring to do at one point?
Yeah, we were looking at it this year, but then thought maybe next year once I improve a bit. So we'll see how it goes.
So Yeah, Anita, you haven't been playing too long. How did you kind of get into disc golf, and when did you first start playing?
So in 2021, I think my swimming coach, Peter Howes, he found a disc golf course within 5 Ks of him. So he decided to bring our whole swim club along for a social day. And I played it a few times and thought it was pretty cool. And then he says to me, "Oh, come do a competition because there are no other people in your division, so you can win it." So I did, and I got lots of prizes. So
that's exactly what I like to do, Anita. So well done. And your local course, you're in Melbourne there. What's your local course?
My local course is Bald Hill or Lewis Park.
Nice. Now, just jumping back to your swim coach, do you swim more or do you play disc golf more now?
I definitely swim more.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't made a bad choice in introducing you to disc golf just yet. You haven't left the swimming team.
Not yet.
Anita, I bumped into you down at Point Lonsdale, I think over summer, and you were on your way. You just swum an open ocean race. I don't know how many Ks it was or whatever, and then you were walking back to the start again to do it again, to compete against your brothers in their division.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's fun. I like doing it in the summer. It's a good thing to get out there and get to see lots of new places like disc golf.
Nice.
Awesome.
It must feel pretty good as well, Anita, rocking up to a disc golf event and knowing that you're probably fitter than 95% of the other competitors there, because I don't know if I could swim that far at all.
Now, Anita, in Australia, it's imperative for all of the local clubs to try and get as many female players and as many juniors into the sport as they possibly can. So we wanted to have a chat about you and how you found the sport out. And more importantly, have you infected any of your friends with the addiction that is disc golf yet?
Well, since I got into it from my swim club, we've got a few of us went down to play, and then I have told my friends about it, and even at my soccer club, I brought my discs one time and got them to throw it. They said it was fun, so they might come along to one social day one day.
Awesome. Atta girl. And what would you say to other juniors that maybe have no idea about disc golf? Like, what are some of the nice things about disc golf that you'd say to recommend that they get into a league day or even just a casual round?
Yeah. Well, I like just going different places, finding out things that I didn't know were there, and having a go at something new. I just like, I'm competitive, so I like competing against people and trying to beat everyone.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I ran a clinic with Anita and her brother Tobias, and after they threw all their discs, they then raced each other to go and pick them up. So definitely getting that competitive vibe from you, Anita. Now, just jumping back to the South Australian Open. So what kind of discs are in your bag? What was your go-to kind of discs for the tournament to get that win?
Well, my driver, it's called a sword. I think it's a 12.5 minus 0.52.
Good
so
trilogy disc there. Fantastic disc.
Yeah, so that's probably my main driver. I've got a couple of them, more stable and unstable. And I like my steady, which is my, it's sort of a putter mid-range thing, which I use for all my approach shots.
Oh, excellent. So what also felt the best about your game that weekend? Were you driving really well? Were you putting really well? Was it a bit of both? What really secured the win for you?
I just felt like I didn't go for any silly shots. I went for kind of safe options, or I just concentrated more and thought about what I was doing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good advice there, Tim. You should think about that one.
I'm
mate.
taking furious notes here, Paddy. Now, Anita, you've had some really close battles with my teammate. You're part of Team Aces, and my Heiserflight teammate, Jess Holman, in FJ15, which has certainly piqued my interest. Are you still eligible for FJ15, or are you sort of focusing more on the FA2 and moving on up from here?
Well, I'm 15 at the moment, but I turned 16 at the end of the year after Nationals. So the rules are a bit, I don't know about them. So some of them say I can play it, some of them say I can't. So at the moment, I'm just looking at FA2.
Awesome. No, that's the way to go. Always step up if you can is my advice.
Yeah.
Tim just touched on it then. You're obviously part of the ACES team, which is the Flying Disc Saw team. Have you enjoyed jumping on this year?
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's a great team of people who are all supportive of each other.
Very good.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. So what's the next tournament for you, Anita? What are you playing next?
I think we're going to Molong in the holidays.
Oh, cool. Right. Oh, that'd be fun. Have you played Molong before?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. It's a cool place. Tim, yeah, you like the locals there, mate. But yeah, no, it's a good fun, good big course for your big arm with that sword as well. Yeah.
Pack some warm clothes, though, is all I can say, Anita, because it's called the Central West Cold Snap, and it's bloody freezing up there. Last year, it was the wettest tournament I've ever played. So, good, best of luck.
I definitely will.
So warm clothes and some gumboots. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anita, thank you so much for jumping on the tee off and telling us a little bit about your win and your game. Very excited for you, and yeah, wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
That's
Thanks,
okay.
Anita.
Thank you for having me.
What a legend, Anita. It's if someone can tell me the secret that helps get more young players into the sport and more importantly, young females into the sport, I'd love to know it, because that's what we need. She's one of the good ones.
I think a bit of a secret to Anita is the old man.
Yep.
Mr. Roland Webber, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I've seen such a supportive dad in the sport. He's not just disc golf either, but he's at swimming, and then they're doing football, and he's absolutely forced that bloke as well. So having a nice supporting family is definitely helping.
It's definitely on our radar in the future too, Tim. But I crack up when they've got dads and their kids are playing disc golf. I hear it all the time, but like, oh, you're throwing that disc? That was in my bag, or that's my one,
Yeah,
or
that's
that's my driver. What are you talking about?
Yeah, stealing discs from the
Stealing
dad.
discs.
No, I love it. I think I'm a strong advocate for just that competitive sport with young kids. I think it's so good to have that competitive drive. Anita's got it, and I think that's something that a lot of the kids sort of struggle with disc golf, is they get deterred by that competitive nature. But hopefully, the parents and friends and whatnot can see the bonuses and the positives of it, because it's certainly healthy in my view.
Absolutely.
Nice. Alrighty, boys. Now, we had some questions come in. Some were a little bit late from the last episode, so I've just added them into here, but some interesting ones for you.
Terry Bowen.
Yeah.
Me dad sent in a question.
He certainly did, mate. He loves the pod.
What's he doing on the socials?
Yeah. I doubt he listens to you, but,
Very good question, though, that he sent in. Terry Bowen, with the championships being played on 2 weekends this year down in Hobart, can I enter 2 divisions, e.g. MA40 and MA50?
That's a good question.
That's an absolute pearl of a question.
It is a very, very good question. So I've got a little bit to answer for you, Terry. We spoke to a couple of people. Now, I won't name any names, but there's some thoughts about it that there shouldn't be any issue. If you qualify for either of those divisions, yes, they're on separate weekends, then you probably should be able to just jump in there. I don't personally see any problem with it, but what it does rely on a couple of things. So it does rely on the tournaments being separate. So if the Div 2 is a different tournament to the Div 1, then they'll definitely be able to do it.
As in a different PDJ event?
Yeah, essentially,
yeah.
But if it does come under the one tournament, then people won't be able to do it, which I think is interesting. It's not something that I've done before. I know that they do the pro and AM tournaments in the States and stuff, but I'm not sure if they actually run over separate dates or weekends. Usually they're separate courses. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it is actually able to be done, but definitely going to be an interesting one. So,
what's the downside to it? Even for an event organizer, what's the downside to having more people play in your event, more participation, more cash?
I think the downside is if the comp was filling out, both of those weekends were going to be sold out, you don't want someone playing both of them at the expense of someone being able to play one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I think there'll be a room for people to do this. So, and maybe they could stagger, they could say, look, you can register for one of them, and then pending available spots, you can register for a second one. I don't know. But I just reckon it's a free-for-all. Let them in.
Yeah.
You'll see Timmy Bowen signed up in MA2. I'll be there for that first weekend, so good luck. I might have a decent crack at that one. Can you imagine all the MA2 boys coming over to MPO? Because MA1's on the same weekend as MPO.
Yes, it
MA2's
is.
not.
MA2 not.
And
yeah.
MA3.
Yeah.
There you go.
Come on in, boys.
Yeah. Come join our MPO.
Bring your wallets.
Yeah. We'll take that cash. No worries.
Oh, mate. I'm looking at Cameron Ford. I'm looking at Shawnee Freeman.
Why not, eh? Like,
I'm in.
if you wanted to play 2 weekends, like be there for 2 weekends, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Give it a crack. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, good question though, Terry. So I think the answer will probably be no, but
It would be no. I don't see any issue with it or why you couldn't.
yeah, personally, I think it'd be fine
think
because
there's been a
I don't think I think at the moment the caps look like they're about 150 for each weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make either of those. Maybe the MA3, MA2 will fill out to that point, especially with all those MA4 players probably stepping up into MA3. But yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if both the weekends capped out, because that's potentially 300 people. That's huge.
Yeah. And in all honesty, if someone from MA2, MA3 or any of those divisions on that first weekend wants to test the waters and dip their toe into an MPO comp, by all means, jump on in.
Yeah.
Like, what's stopping
Love
them?
to see is
Imagine MA2 getting a sneaky win in
mate,
MPO.
could happen. They'll kick my backside.
Could happen. There's some pretty.
But I mean, there's been a precedent set with. Alex Williams played both days of the Jesmond Jam. I know at AM Worlds there was some of the young boys that qualified for AM Junior Worlds as well, and they played AM Worlds and Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
So I think there's been a precedent set.
Yeah. Actually, is there any, like the Ryan Hart and Atticus? They're not qualified for. They're too old to play MJ15 now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're too old.
they're
too old?
turning
Yeah,
16
okay.
this year.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting last year though with this snow. Would they have actually done both? Maybe. Anyway, moving on.
Good
We'll
question.
See.
Good question, Dad.
Yeah.
Yep. Next one. Recircuit has asked, if ADGC doesn't include MA4, should it include other AM divisions beyond FA1 and MA1? Should everyone play upper division?
That's a good question too. Look, I think there's sort of two lines of thought here. People in one camp, they want all the divisions, trying to cater for as many different players and give them all a competitive chance to win as possible. And then there's other people that go, there should be two divisions. There should be pros and AMs. Pros are for the people that take it deadly serious. Disc golf is, a significant portion of their life, and they're sort of taking it as serious as possible. AMs is for everybody else. Doesn't matter whether you're a MA4 quality, MA1 quality, you're an AM. You're sitting in that one division.
Yeah.
Don't know the answer, Reese. No clue.
The only thing I think of with this is kind of like that player pathway. Like we want to create, like, someone comes into sport, then they can keep moving through. Like if they only progress to, and they like a MA2 or something, that's, where their skills finish and that's where they want to stay, then... Sorry, boys. Don't know what that was.
Might have been Hamish and Andy, Paddy.
Might have been. But yeah, if with the player pathway, like we want to really encourage the people that have the skills and want to develop, that they can keep going and pushing up. And this is, I guess, one way that they can do that, and it will push them to give it a go. And you'd be surprised, like you get people who maybe want to or keep and ahhing about actually stepping up, like Ryan. Ryan, local.
Michelle.
Yeah. Like Ryan Michelle, who stepped up into MPO and actually played like some of the best rounds that he has, So, yeah, it's just, I think it's good. Like everyone should give it a crack. And yeah, this is one way that it can be done.
Don't know the answer. I think there needs to be some divisions. But yeah, as I said, at the Nationals, the biggest event in the country, why not drop the very lower divisions if it means that it's going to cater for the majority of players?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we keep sort of going back and over this, but MA4 is, yes, it's the name has changed a little bit, but it's recreational. MA4.
Novice.
It's novice. Yeah, like MA4 recreational, like, are you really expecting to play the Australian Championships? Just jump up a division if you want to. That you can do it.
A few years ago, that might have been the case, but it's not now.
Yeah, technically MA3 is the lowest competitive division, so that's where you sit.
You want to go? You want to compete?
Yeah. Anyway,
do that.
That's enough time spent on that.
Ballarat's Marlon Gonsalves came in with a question. I snagged my first eagle with a throw-in.
That's not a question, but well done, Marlon.
Well done. Let's just a little shout out to himself. Well done, mate. Can you lads talk about a memorable throw-in or eagle? And before we get to that, I'll just quickly shout out Marlon again. I did see on his socials he was all dressed up in his what is it called, like a university garb.
Oh yeah,
after graduating,
graduation.
So he's out there on hole 1 at Ballarat, teeing off, wearing the whole gear. So
in his graduation gown. Well done,
he's a
Marlon.
doctor or something, aren't you, mate? I don't know.
Yeah. Doctor of disc golf.
Can you? Yeah,
Nice,
great
Marlon.
question. Well done, Marlon, and good question. Can you lads talk about a memorable throw-in or eagle? It wasn't an eagle, but my probably most memorable throw-in was at North Byron Parklands at the Splinter in the Basket course. 256 metre par 4. I went OB off the tee. Then I threw another 100 metres, went OB left. And then I'm 100 metres from the pin and I throw it in. So that was my double circle, double OB bogey. Which I think is certainly
that's
pretty
creative.
Certainly pretty memorable. It was a good sort of 100-metre throw-in. The very next shot, I think it was Michael Caulfield. He actually hit the tray as well from about the same distance. So we almost got 2 in consecutive shots, which would have been amazing.
Yeah, right.
Very handy. Paddy,
Sweet.
throw-ins or eagles?
I did like being down at hole 9 at Barwon Valley and throwing that fuse in for an ace right in front of you, Tim. That was pretty memorable.
Just hole 9 at Barwon. Do you know how many aces I've seen at hole 9 at Barwon?
Yeah, how many have been me? Probably a few.
A couple. Yeah. A couple have been Budge.
No, it was a much more different line than I normally take than that the standard forehand on it. So
well
that was a good one.
On your 9th attempt for that day. Well done.
Mine, it's not really a throw. Well, it's an ace. Let's call it an ace. I'm going to go to Potsdam in Germany.
Okay.
Potsdam was playing with Mr. Paul Arden, and I don't know if you know about Potsdam though, but you can have a Google of it. Hole 1, the hole, it's about 70 metres long, but the majority of the fairway is a wooden decking. And it reaches from about 20 metres, 50 metres long to the basket at the end, which is sunken into the wooden decking.
Oh, okay. So you can scoot it up there like...
Yeah, 100%. All you need to do is get it at least 20 metres down the fairway. Slide her in, and then you'll scoot up the whole way into the basket. And
cool.
Of course it goes off quite a bit because it's a little bit of an easier one, but definitely one of the most memorable holes you can play and unique ones. And apparently I think the PDGA even changed the ruling on the basket position or whatever back in the day when they created that hole to actually accommodate for it, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Sounds fun.
Actually, I'll throw out a more serious one. I did when I went over to New Zealand and playing Paradise for the first time. Very first practice hole, first throw in New Zealand, and I canned an ace on one of them. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Then played like shit. But, yeah. Good question, Marlon. Thank you. Now, last week we had Pat Ferris kind of catch us off guard a little bit with a great question. What are our the 5 worst discs that we think out of drivers, mid-rangers, and putters? Now, we did get through some of the drivers quickly, but we have gone away and had a bit of a think, and we've got the rest of the answer for you there, Pat Ferris.
I spent 2 weeks thinking about the worst discs ever. So... This consumed me the last fortnight, Paddy. So good question.
Well, I wanted to throw out some of the drivers because we did get a little bit stuck. I was going to say the Innova Dragon, which is a disc that they've made that floats in water. So people go to it to only throw water shots.
So it's designed to go out of bounds, is what?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's really dragging down your game.
Turn it up.
Yeah. And then the Latitude 64 Bryce, which
Bryce.
The Bryce, yes.
Was it named by a guy? Was it made by a guy named Bryce?
I don't know. It came out. I know you love the Latitude 64 names, Tim. But,
I remember this one coming out like a couple of years ago, the Bryce, and it came out at the same time as the Gobby.
It's Gobi.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's Gobi.
Either way, that was shit as well.
Yeah.
That was.
Who's coming up with the names at Latitude? That's shocking.
Well, do you know what? Faith and whatever is probably a step up from Bryce and Gobby. But yeah, the Latitude 64 Bryce, I threw this thing once and it almost corkscrewed in the air. It was that understable. So
There you go.
Sweet. So it's in Tim's bag now.
I think we mentioned the Groove last week. That's unanimously a trash disc.
Yep.
I've got a couple here. The Innova Corvette. Just think,
yeah.
most of them are those sort of 14 speeds. They kind of just missed the mark, to be honest.
Yep.
And these ones, I think they've both been discontinued from Latitude 64.
Oh, here we
Absolute
go.
trash. The Michelin and the Rakuten.
No, they're great discs.
Mate, they're shockers.
Have you thrown them?
I didn't even want to touch them, Paddy,
Oh,
because
you
they
would-
look diseased, mate.
No chance.
Paul
you
Ard's
can't
gonna
even
have you,
throw
mate.
it.
Oh, is it really?
That Michelin has not left his bag.
Yeah, yeah.
However, it's got the grooves to.
Yeah. They're worth a bit of cash. People
I believe
pay
it's
big
called
cash for them.
hexagonal top technology.
There you go.
Fergs.
That's right.
Trash.
Mate, you can't call a disc trash if you've never thrown it. I've thrown every one of them.
I inherited the Geelong Disc Golf Club Pro Shop for a few years, and there were just a couple of those rattling around the bottom of the tubs. And geez, they were
they're
just
like-
hideous discs.
They're like $200 US now.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
Goodness
I would
me.
think I'd discount it at $10 to get rid of get it out of the tubs. Anyway,
I can see the day the old with Dragon, is it? That's made the list.
Clayton Beck's Dragon, Yukun crap, whatever. Yeah. If you haven't touched it, see Clayton, hit him up, have a feel, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, mid ranges. I want to throw out the Innova Wedge.
Wedge.
The Wedge, yes, it's got about the thinnest rim you've ever felt on a disc. They just feel trash and they fly trash.
It's funny. It almost feels like a driver, but it's definitely a mid range. It's pretty gross.
Yeah,
Better as a doorstop than a disc.
yeah, better as a dinner plate, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Innova Stingray we mentioned last week.
Mm-hmm.
The Stego. Now, I think that's technically a putt and approach disc, but no one putts with that.
Who makes that?
Stego. Who makes the Stego?
No.
Oh,
It's
it's that
crazy.
memorable. It's that memorable.
It's
Yeah.
crazy overstable. It's that cheap budget plastic, and it's got that really defined outer edge.
Reptilian disc golf.
That's a pretty cool stamp, though. I like the
Oh,
stamp.
the stamp is cool. The stamp is cool. Little steggy.
Stegosaurus. Now I get it.
Yeah, but it's the most like overstable thing you've ever thrown.
And just yuck. It just
yeah.
feels cheap and shitty.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I've nominated the Polecat. Now, again, this is a one-speed disc, probably technically a putter, but I've put it in the mid-range because, I mean, you don't putt with it. I don't think anyone who throws a Polecat? I'm probably
Yeah.
going to, don't at me with this because I know there's some diehard fans that love the Polecat. That is a novelty crappy disc.
Yes.
No space for it in disc golf, if you're asking me.
If that is legitimately in someone's bag, I'm like, yeah, no.
I think I am definitely making Ellen Brunsting's low light of the week. But the Polecat, she's an absolute shocker.
It's up there with the birdie.
The birdie,
Oh, yeah.
the birdie's a bad
Birdie.
disc.
Yeah,
too.
the old thumb track on there as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great stamp as well.
Shocking.
Any other mids?
Can I just? I just got my list here. Can we jump back to drivers for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Arobi Epic.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Epic, yeah.
Epic. Yeah, with the what's it called? Like it's the off center
Yes.
bloody thing. So
The,
that
the
that
disc
thing's-
looks like it's melted, mate. It looks like it's been left in the sun. It's just melted.
There was that bloody Estonian. No, he was Finnish. What's his name? He was the ex
Javelin thrower.
He used to throw one of those. Like,
It was pretty cool to watch, actually.
It was pretty amazing. He'd
Yeah.
throw it, it'd corkscrew, and then hyzer out to the right.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
corkscrew into an Annie,
Yeah.
come out, and then hyzer back. Like,
Yeah.
incredible.
It looks like that like tool that your nana has to like put in the heel of a shoe to help your foot slide into your shoe. That's what it looks like. Shocking.
Yeah, I think Alan Brunsting also bags one,
He
so
does.
yeah, good on you, Al.
Back to mids. I think for mids, I've put down the Discraft Comet, and again, probably going to get a bit of hate for that because pretty popular disc, the Comet. But I can't throw it to save my life.
Yeah.
Feels trash in the hands.
I think MJ's on a flight
Yeah.
right now. I'm going to give you a smack in the face for that.
Yeah, I think Michael Johannessen's the only guy that can throw it.
Yeah.
It's dead set. That disc, if you give it any more than 15% power, she's burning into the ground.
Yeah.
It's kind of up there with the Comet. It's kind of up there with the Meteor.
Oh, the Meteor, yeah.
Yeah, that's a similar kind of like funky feel in the
It
hand.
feels better in the hands.
Great names that burning straight into the ground. Yeah. Nice.
No, that's my nomination. Move on to putters, though. There's some shocking putters out there.
Yeah.
Now, this one I nominated, the Innova animal. Have you always touched this disc?
I haven't. No.
I touched it when I put a stack on the shelf in the shop, and they're still there gathering dust.
Spew.
Yeah,
Spew the animal. What were they thinking?
I don't know. Sometimes I think Dave's just been smoking way too much stuff at Innova, and he's just, this will be good. We'll put a thumb track on it and make a dome out of it.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly.
I guess that leads into the Discraft banger. I don't like the thumb track.
Oh, the banger.
Yeah.
Look, the banger feels great in the hand. The thumb track feels awesome. And I think it was Brian Earhart even pointed out that the underside of the thumb track is a really great place to rest your pinky. I remember reading it going like, yep, that feels great in my hand. This is going to be my new putter, and it flies like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
no glide. Can't put any spin on it, even though that's what the thumb track's designed to do.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you. Banger. That's a shocker.
Talk about under the rim. I'm putting this one up here because it's just, I find them weird. I don't like them. Innova Nova.
Oh, I've got the Nova too.
Nova.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Paul Macbeth was so good with the Nova.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone bought one because that was what Paul Macbeth was approaching with when he was with Innova. And that is the worst feeling disc ever.
It is
Yeah.
gross.
I don't know.
I forgot about the Nova.
I remember getting one because I'm like, Macbeth, he just throws it straight at the basket. I'm like, what? Like, why am I trying to hyzer disc into the basket? I'll just throw them straight at the basket, and then I try and throw the Nova, and it doesn't go more than 14 meters for me, straight into the ground.
I think Macbeth was working really hard to sell some shit.
Yeah.
And he did a good. Obviously did a good job.
Yeah, that was Innova's best crack at copying MVP over.
Yeah, the overmold. It even had the bits underneath where they've like clipped the mold on.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean about under the.
Yeah.
Just, you touch that, you're like,
Terrible.
what's happening? Oh, I've shanked it. Shit.
Isn't that just the effect of like pros and why they're worth their weight in gold?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like nobody throws a Nova now that Macbeth has gone from Innova.
100%.
Same thing was like the pig and Ricky Wysocki. No one throws the pig since Ricky left.
No,
but
it's cooked.
funny that.
Interesting.
The Latitude 64 Ruby. Now, but it's the Ruby. It's a beginner putter, but it's crazy understable, like ridiculously understable, and not the funnest disc to throw.
I'll throw one out there, which is a bit of a random one. In fact, I think it's been un-PDJ approved.
They took it away. All right.
I might have mentioned this last week. I can't remember. The Quest Turbo Putt.
Oh,
Can you Google this?
yeah.
Can you get
Yes.
it up on? Can you get this up? I want to have a look at it again. This thing is. It looks like a flower. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a Ninja Star, like shuriken type thing, right?
Yep. Yeah, the rim is. I don't know, what do you say? Corrugated? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
it's got finger slots.
Yep. Yeah, where you can kind of like fully slot in your fingers, and then I forgot about the inside. Under the rim is a dog shit. It's essentially a swirl of rim that's like built up, so you can
dog
choose
shit.
where you want to put your thumb.
I was going to say cinnamon scroll, but dog shit is a better name for it.
This thing is absolutely gross. Although I'm ashamed, it's a shame I didn't get one when they came out, because I'm sure they're a collector's item, because they're certainly not in production anymore. But there you go, the old Quest Turbo Putt.
You know who'd be great for this segment? It's Jacob Cruden. And he's like, effectively, like around the traps, he's known as Jacob. If you don't know it, I throw it. Cruden. I reckon he'd have all these trash discs.
Yeah.
He'll never come on the podcast.
He's just listening to this to build his bag, isn't he? Yeah.
He won't come on because I've badmouthed the polecat, but I reckon he'd know all these.
That's actually a good little challenge. I'd like to see us actually bag all of these things and go over a round.
Yeah, all right.
I was
Okay.
just looking at that turbo putter. I reckon I'd go all right with that. Good question though, Paddy Ferris. I'd love to see some nominations from the listeners as to the worst discs that they've bagged.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And yeah, as I said,
Send them in if you got them. We'll put it up on the gram as well.
and don't send any hate mail about the polecat. It's trash. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that it's a good disc. You won't be able to.
Now, I do have a little one. Now, it wasn't a question that came in, but it was it came up at the SA Open, which I thought was which was interesting. Basically, the comment was, did you know that like applying chalk, like with your chalk bag, directly onto the disc is illegal?
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And I just thought, like, really? Like, I see people do that all the time. I want to go and I'll just actually have a look at this. So, I had a look. So, in the PDJ rules at 813.01, illegal disc in the C section number 4.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
know. No, like David Heath is looking this up as I'm talking about it, mate. He's checking me. So, adding a material of a detectable thickness, such as paint, is illegal.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, okay. Then I went through and had a look at a legal device, which is 813.02. Devices that reduce or control abrasion to the skin, such as gloves, tape, bandages, or gauze. Items applied to the skin to improve grip, such as talc, chalk, dust, or dirt. And medical items, such as knee or ankle braces, are allowed. So I actually think that that comment was wrong.
Okay,
I don't think you know, if you're putting paint or whatever, you know, or a sticker on, that's noticeable. But, I mean, talc or dust, like you get dust on your discs as well. That's not going to be illegal. Yeah, I think it's wrong.
Yeah, interesting point though to bring up because I mean I had no idea that there was any. I mean, well, of course you know you can't have stickers on there and stuff like that, but yeah, interesting.
So there you go. I think it'd be a good one if anyone's out there, maybe we'll put this on the gram as well, but if you've heard like a crazy misinterpretation of the rules, I think that'd be interesting to hear a few good misinterpretations come in.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Now, the final segment for the day, guys. I put out a question onto the old Instagram socials, and we had quite a few responses come in, and we're going to have a chat about them. I really enjoyed this one. So the question we asked, what has someone said to you that put you off a shot or your round? So before we get into the ones that are sent in, does anything come to mind for you boys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whenever I throw a good drive and someone says, "Oh, that's parked," and then if I walk up and I'm more than 2 meters away from the basket, all of a sudden the hands shaking, the knees are wobbling,
100%.
the tray's looking 6 feet tall. Like, I hate it when people say that's parked and I'm not parked.
If my disc's not leaning against the pole,
Yeah,
I'm pissed.
100%.
Actually, there was someone who, I can't remember who it was, but they was like, if you were about 3 meters, 4 meters, like, oh, that's a great birdie. As you're walking up.
Before they've,
before you putt. Like, oh man, annoying. What about you, Fergs? Any?
Oh, look, mate, to be honest, nothing comes to mind exactly, but just, I mean, anyone just talking up a throw mid-flight, I mean, it's just classic shit, nicing it, whatever. It's just, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't
never.
Tournament rounds, yeah, fair enough. But, like, I mean, casual rounds, that's a different story. But
Maybe we should just change it. Like, instead of saying nice, just call it trash. Oh, trash the whole time.
Actually, I tell you what, there's like an anti-trash thing because like if you've ever played with Paul Arden, sometimes the silence, the nothing that he gives you is louder.
Yeah,
like that gets in my head even more.
I do remember some of those Melbourne boys having a crack up. I think Greg Bowers used to have a laugh. They could put you off pretty easy. Like if you're in your backswing or something, they like do like or just a little. Something like that. That would be enough to sort of throw you off your shot.
Bit of a meow.
Yeah.
Well, what have we got? What about you, Paddy?
Well, actually, there was a funny one from the SA Open that I'll share. So we're standing on the tee pad, the first hole on the round 3, and I think Tim, you were lining up your shot, and I got asked the question, Paddy, what is the weakest part of your game?
Oh, I remember that. I said, Paddy, don't answer that because I'm about to throw. But luckily I got the birdie. But yeah, mid-throw.
And
let me get this right. So you're about to tee off. No. Tim's about to tee off. You get
I got
asked.
the question.
But it was loud enough that I could hear it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Paddy, don't answer that because I'm about to throw.
But like even if it's not directed at you, but why are we bringing this up at the start of the final round?
Well, look, yeah, it was an interesting question. I did have to think about it. My answer was probably just playing with Tim. But
well, that's not true. You went like 8 down through 9 holes after that question. So.
Well, look, I try not to talk a bit of shit. I let my game to the talking, and yeah, I did birdie those 8 of 9 from the front. So yeah, but was an interesting question to really kick off your round.
I'm taking notes here because I'd love to be able to put some people off, put people off their rounds. So,
well, yeah, let's go through some of the ones that came in. So Recircuit, he said, you always shank your drives when I stand behind you. Someone said that to him.
Right.
That's not too bad. Not too bad. All right.
How close are they standing behind you?
Yeah. So they plant the seed. So they just,
breathing down your neck.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
All right. Dylan Feldman, you're putting really well today.
Yeah, Yeah, right.
I'll take this one from the old brother there, Campbell. What are those sorry? What are those honky nuts behind you?
Now, what? Yeah,
Well,
what's a honky nut?
Well, I only know because I lived in WA in Western Australia for a little while. Honky nuts, and I'll shout out to my wife here, who's no fucking idea. They're not called honky nuts; they're called gum nuts.
Gum.
Gum nuts,
right.
That's what they're called. But in WA, for some reason, they're that far out there that they've just called them something else.
Honky nuts.
Honky nuts. So
Right.
obviously Campbell knows this one. So yeah, but I've never had anyone ask me about my honky nuts. But
That's funny that, like, I remember playing footy, like, when people line up a goal in footy, people just say the dumbest stuff because it makes you, like, get distracted.
Yeah.
Like, someone said your mum wears army boots. And you're just like, what does that even mean? Like,
I just had a visual of it, so it does that.
Shank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one. Austin D'Alessandro, you're playing well, mate. Austin said, may as well DNF if someone says that to me in a tournament. Austin, ruthless.
Oh,
It is a
love
classic. It is a classic one, though. Simple.
Actually, it's a shame he didn't write this in, but Reese Kruger, if anyone told him the score or said that to him as well, done.
Done. Love it.
Absolutely done.
I love it.
Oh, God.
I think I say that to Austin all the time too, so I've got to make sure I don't next time we play with him.
Terry Bowen, I think you have me. And then, so that was said to him, and he triple bogeyed after that. So, yeah.
And he's gone a shout out, name and shame. Thanks, Steve. So I don't know who Steve is.
So, on you, Steve.
Pull your head in, Steve.
Ginny Disc Golf. I think that can be the one and only Tom Tulip there.
Yep.
This hole is so easy if you have a forehand. Just before I line up a forehand shot.
Yeah.
No, that's a perfect setup. Then you park the hole and you're like, yep, there you go.
Hayden Fatini has said, do you breathe in or out before you throw?
That is a very good one. That is very good.
I really like that one.
Do you breathe in or out before you throw?
Yeah.
What about you boys? I've got no clue.
No, but yeah, I've had this one. I've had this one
Yeah, I bet
delivered to me,
it's
and it's a
great.
good one because then after that, well, I had it for putting, but after that, you're like, hang on, what do I do?
breathe?
I've forgotten how to breathe. That is ludicrous.
It is funny.
No, so yeah, there were all the ones that came in. I thoroughly enjoyed reading through them. If any, I think we should ask this one again in the future because there's some. I reckon there's more out there, and these are some absolute crackers there as well. So, yeah, please don't go around saying, "Oh, you're playing well, mate," to Austin on the course, or maybe do. I don't mind. But
I think what I'm getting from this is that you just can't say anything to anyone during a tournament round.
Yep.
Because half of these are words of encouragement. You're not allowed to do that.
It's the way it's delivered.
It's the way it's delivered. All right.
yes, nah, good one. Enjoyed it. Thanks to all those guys for sending them in. All right, and that brings us to the end of another episode of The Tee Off. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Please send in any questions or topics that you would like us to discuss. Until next time, we hope that you get out there, play some disc golf with your mates. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Fergie. And big thanks to Anita for jumping on. Until next time.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.